MJ, the most iconic basketball player of all time, and perhaps the most iconic figure in all of sports history. But one of the main reasons for his iconic reputation was not only for his spectacular play on the court, but it was largely in part for his legendary signature shoes, the Air Jordans, where we've seen a plethora of beautiful looking additions released throughout the past few decades. And I can almost guarantee that if you were to look into your closet this very second, you would see a pair of Air Jordans sitting there right now. But even if you don't have a pair at this very moment, I think it's safe to say that you've owned a pair of them in the past. And the other thing that we all have in common is that one point in time, we sat back and just wished that we can be like Mike.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
Oh, if I could be like Mike.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
Be like Mike.
Be like Mike.
But what if I told you that for one game, Mike wanted to be like someone else? Let's start off in the year of 1993. MJ just came off of his third straight championship, but a few months later, he learned of his father's tragic death. So soon after, he announced his first retirement from the league and pursued a career in baseball. Now fast forward 17 months later in 1995, Jordan returned to play for the Chicago Bulls. But at that point, the Bulls were no longer the top team in the East. That title belonged to the Orlando Magic. Later on, the Bulls and the Magic would meet in the semifinals of the 1995 NBA playoffs. And Game 1 was the debut of one of the most iconic sneakers ever, the Concord Air Jordan 11s. The Bulls would go on to lose that game, but Jordan continued to wear the Concords again for Game 2, this time dropping 38 points to even up the series. After wearing the Concords in the first 2 games of the series, Jordan was fined $5,000 by the NBA because his shoes were primarily white, which violated the uniform color code policy. And Jordan did not want to get handed another fine for wearing the Concords 11, and Nike wasn't quite done making the all-black playoff version yet, which is now known as the Space Jams. So right before Game 3, he decided to do something he's never done before, which was wear another player's shoe. Now Jordan could have easily chose to wear a previous pair of the Air Jordan 10s, or any other of his old silhouettes for that matter, but he only had one shoe in mind, and the player happened to be in the same building, Penny Hardaway. Here's a quick summary of Penny for those young people who don't really know much about him. Penny Hardaway was the 3rd pick in the 1993 NBA draft by the Golden State Warriors, but was traded to the Orlando Magic on draft night for Chris Webber. He was a 6'7" point guard who had a game like Magic Johnson, but was much more athletic. He quickly became the floor general for the Orlando Magic. But a month before his rookie debut, that's when MJ announced his first retirement, so he thought he would never get the opportunity to face Air Jordan. But luckily, a year and a half later, he would finally get his chance to lace him up against the greatest player in the world. So now back to the 1995 NBA playoffs. Game 3 of the semifinals was about to tip off, so Michael, sitting there with all the shoes he could have chose, he told Nike this, quote, "Hey man, give me some of the kids' shoes." And obviously, MJ got what he wanted, which was a pair of the Hardaway Nike Air Flight 1s. And when Penny got the word that Jordan wanted to wear his shoes, he couldn't believe it. Quote, "How many pairs do you need? Do you need mine?" It was like, that's MJ wearing my shoes. So Game 3 went underway, as the young prodigy and the GOAT met on the big stage, battling it out while both rocking the exact same colorway of the Air Flight 1s. And Jordan dazzled with Hardaway shoes on his feet, scoring a series-high 40 points. After the game, Hardaway said, "It's a moment I'll always cherish." We all know that Michael Jordan is one of the fiercest competitors ever. He's not gonna wear just anybody's shoes. He wouldn't do that for a lot of people. For him to do that for me, it was the ultimate level of respect. And MJ would later comment about Penny, saying, "I have the utmost respect for his game. He's the next kid coming up in the league." Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little piece of history that most people might not have known about. So thanks for watching everybody, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.